Top 5 dogs that accomplished more than we ever will. If television has taught us anything, it's that heroes can come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes they're dog-shaped. In fact, despite having a lifespan shorter than an average Mazda 66, some dogs have managed to accomplish more than most of us could ever hope to. Number 5. Dogs like Smokey the Yorkshire Terrier at number 5. Smokey was a Yorkshire Terrier that was found in an abandoned foxhole in New Guinea in 1944 by American soldiers who made the logical choice of taking him with them. More noteworthy than surviving 3 years in a war-torn jungle as one of the least threatening animals on the planet is how Smokey managed to do it with approximately the same level of resources as a Dickensian orphan and still avoid being bombed to death 150 times. Because Smokey was not an official war dog, the army would not feed him or even give him medical aid if he got shot. So his owner shared his rations and kept Smokey in his tent, which worked out for the owner's benefit. While on a transport ship, Smokey guided his owner to cover after hearing the whistle of oncoming artillery shells over the booming of the ship's cannons. Number 4. Superdog at number 4 is Saint Guinfer. Guinfer was a greyhound owned by a French knight. One day the knight went hunting and left his infant child in the care of Guinfer the dog. When he returned, his house was torn up, his baby was missing, and Guinfer's face was covered in blood. Assuming Guinfer had eaten his kid, the knight chopped the dog's head off, only to find the baby safely in a corner of the room next to the mutilated corpse of a viper. The knight and his family were so distressed about killing their faithful friend that they buried him in a well and built a shrine around it, and Guinfer became a saint for infants, protecting them from the evils of the world. Number 3. Doggy number 3 is Barry the Saint Bernard. Barry lived during the 19th century in a monastery near the Switzerland-Italy border, serving as an extremely busy rescue dog. Barry managed to save more than 40 people's lives in the snow with no equipment, thumbs, or even brandy. By the way, the barrel of alcohol carried by St. Bernard's is the myth. Probably his most spectacular rescue was a small child that got stuck on an icy ledge under layers of snow. Barry managed to climb the ledge and started licking the boy's face to keep him warm until the monks from the monastery could get to him. Once more, the humans in the story failed. The monks couldn't reach the boy, making death all but a certainty. But Barry wouldn't give up. He kept desperately trying to revive the boy until miraculously he woke up and clung to Barry's neck. The dog then carried him to safety. Most of us would have given up on our own child at that point and just gone home to make another one. Number 2. Braveheart dog number 2 is Chips the German Shepherd Collie Husky mix. Chips was a ridiculous mix of a bunch of dog breeds that looks nothing alike. He was shipped off to fight the Axis in North Africa, Sicily, Italy, France, and Germany as a sentry dog. During the invasion of Sicily, Chips and Private John Rowell, his handler, were pinned down on a beach by machine gun fire. Chips managed to free himself from Rowell, jumped onto the bunker the Italians were firing from, and attacked them. The dog won. The Italians were forced to surrender to the Americans rather than have their throats torn out. Later that day, Chips captured 10 more Italian soldiers, maybe because they all forgot they were carrying guns, but more likely because Chips was, pound for pound, the most badass soldier in the war. For his heroic actions, Chips was awarded a Silver Star and Purple Heart, though he was later stripped of his medals because, well, he was a dog. After the war, he returned home to his family and a Disney movie. Number 1. Dog number 1 is Endall the Labrador Retriever, that worked as a service dog helping a Gulf War veteran named Alan Parton, who had very serious head injuries that made him unable to create new memories. Endall was named Dog of the Millennium. If you are wondering why, well, it was because he was a goddamn genius even by human standards. Since the severely brain-damaged and wheelchair-bound Parton could do virtually nothing for himself, Endall had to learn a lot of things that, quite frankly, dogs have no business doing. He could get stuff from grocery store shelves, he learned Parton's PIN number and could use the ATM machine. He was able to operate the washing machine, fetched numerous different household items based on specific gestures. He could also use the elevator, open train doors, and, well, like most dogs, get the paper. In case that wasn't awesome enough, he managed to make national headlines in 2001 when Alan Parton was hit by a car and thrown from his wheelchair. Endall pulled him to safety and put him into the recovery position ready for the paramedics. Endall then ran back into the street to get Parton's cell phone. Okay, he wasn't able to call for help on the phone, but man, can you imagine if he had? But he did find a blanket to cover Parton with and then ran into a nearby hotel, barking until someone figured out what was going on and called for an ambulance.